So how's it going, ladies and gents, and welcome back to the channel. Today guys, we're gonna showcase a deck profile, and this deck profile was actually showcased in the Duelist Cup. So actually 4 or 5 people used this on the Duelist Cup, and they were top 10 on the Duelist Cup. So let's get into the deck profile and check this deck out. Right in front of you guys, you already know the deck. I think most of you already know the top 10 decks that was widely used in the Duelist Cup. So one of this was actually Branded Despia, or 4 of this was actually Branded Despias, 4 or 5s, either way. So the deck composed of 60 cards with the new Ishizu cards. That grass looks greener, and then 3 copies of Allure of Darkness and 3 copies of Desires. A really good searcher, and not a searcher, a really good draw power for your deck, since basically you're running a 60 card deck. So that's really awesome. The Patchwork Engine, 3 copies of Patchwork. This is the first time I've actually seen this type of ratio, the 3 Patchwork spell cards, and then 2 Edge of Chain and 3 polymerization. So by far it actually worked. So like I said earlier, I just copied this in the Master Duel website because I was really by far curious on how this deck really works alongside the Ishizu cards. So Ishizu cards, its purpose for this deck is actually to control the graveyard, in a sense. If you're going up against some of the Sprite decks recently with the other branded decks, or even some Mathmech decks, anything that revolves around spell summoning monsters from the graveyard, and Medora or even Keldo is in the graveyard as well, or on the field, you can just use its effect, recycle those monsters back to the deck, and basically avoiding or disjoint the target for those type of summons. Furthermore, there's not really a problem with the deck to grant it a ton of negates, because Herald of the Orange Light is a really good negate and destruction of a card, alongside your fairy monsters, since most of your cards are fairy monsters. Of course, Despias are fairy monsters, and of course the Ishizu cards are also fairy monsters, so that is a really good synergy there. 2 copies of Albion, a really good draw power. The Keeper of the Dragon Magic allows you to bring forth a copy of Branded Fusion, Aliber, Branded Fusion. Tragedy sent to the graveyard or banished, you can get a copy of Aliber to Branded Fusion as well. Spring and Skit gets you a copy of Branded Fusion. So all about Branded Fusion, Branded Fusion, Branded Fusion. So it's basically like that, guys. You have more chances of getting another branded card by the use of Aliber. I think most of you already know that. The inclusion of your hand traps, which is your Maxi, your Ash Blossom, and of course 2 copies of Call of the Grave. We're not using any Crossroad Designator here, so that's still okay. It's still viable. We got a lot of wins with regards to this deck, and by far it was really well, not really a shocker, because Branded Despias at the moment is really strong. The only question I had when I saw this deck was the Branded in High Spirits, and then I thought, hey, it works well with the deck, because you just reveal one monster that has the same type as the ones in the extra deck, and then, you know, send it to the graveyard. So that's really good. 2 trap cards, Banishment, and of course Retribution. Other than that, that's the only thing that's there's nothing else that's unfamiliar with me now after I used this deck for a couple of times. The only inclusion of Eldritch the Golden Boy in this deck was actually somewhat funny, just to have an additional beat down if you have an extra spell or trap that you want to send to the graveyard, and then a special summon Eldritch the Golden Boy. So that is by far the only composition of your main deck. Extra deck just revolves around 1 copy of Elshadal Construct for a copy of your Medora revealed with the Branded in High Spirits. So that's really your go-to target there, so it's still fine. Your other branded cards, Branded Fusion monsters, I mean, and then 2 copies of Masquerade. We got a lot of wins with regards to the Masquerade. 2 copies of Mary Jade, 2 copies of Lebellion, and 2 copies of Guardian Chimera, and then 1 copy of Verte Anaconda. That's basically it. As you might see here, guys, we made it to Diamond from Platinum 4 just because of the 60 card Branded Despia deck. And by far, it was very fun actually using this deck. So we got a ton of wins. So 2 losses on our Platinum side, then basically 1 loss, 1 loss, 1 loss, ton of wins, and then we reached Diamond 5. So I'm not sure if I wanted to, or I want to proceed with Diamond 4 or so on, but I don't know. Let's see. Anyways, so that is it. We'll showcase some replays and I hope you guys enjoy. See you guys in the next video. Bye-bye. Alright guys, so here are the replays. We have 5 replays for you guys today just to showcase this 60 card deck with the new Branded Ishizu and Ishizu cards. So, we have Dragon Magic, 1 Branded Opening, 1 Maxi, 1 Tragedy, and 1 Retribution as our starting hand. Start first, we go summon our Dragon Magic, sending a copy of Tragedy. Now, I really was testing out if ever Tragedy will prompt its effect. I'm pretty sure it didn't. Okay, I think it's send, right? Send or discard. It's not send. So, get a copy of Random Fusion from the Dragon Magic. Use Branded Opening, sending a copy of Retribution to the graveyard, getting a copy of Ad Libitum. Now we go for Branded Fusion. Now I was torn if ever I'll use or I drop Maxi or Ad Libitum. So I just went ahead and go for Ad Libitum drop. So Lebellion drops Ad Libitum. Despian Tragedy gets a copy of Aliber. I know it's not the best of choices, but yeah, Maxi is very powerful at the moment. Best of 1, guys. Best of 1. So Mirror Jade to the field. Use the effect of Mirror Jade. Banish our Dragon Magic. And actually, we end our turn there. Albion will bring forth a copy of Branded Red, and Retribution will bring forth a copy to our hand, a copy of Branded Fusion. So, there we go. And our turn. Now, I was really curious on what our opponent is using. So, yeah. It's actually Dinomorphia, a really good control deck by far. Especially with the new Punk engines. Really, really amazing. But yeah, the Diplo is going to be sending a copy of Sonic, setting 5 back rows, and what we need to do is cut those back rows down. So, use Branded Red, get a copy of our Ad Libitum, and then fuse into the Guardian Chimera, popping 1 card. I think middle was my target here. Popping the middle one, and then Ad Libitum spell summons Mirror Jade to the field. So that's it. There we go. Use the effect of Mirror Jade, banishing his monster, and with the effect of Brigand, we got a copy of Mercurier. Now, I was actually I forgot the effect of Mercurier here. I need a face-up fusion monster that mentions Fallen Valbaz, so it wasn't really. My choices were actually bad. So on our turn, our opponents used the effect of Anti-Spell Fragrance, so we can't do anything else. But to set our spell cards to the field, summon our Keldo and attack for 500. There we go. We're trying to summon another monster for, I think Masquerade was my plan here. But needless to say, we got stopped by Solemn Judgment. So, Red Atlantic side of the question. So Keldo will recycle back our Mirror Jade, Verte, and our Albion. And our turn, our opponent draws 1 card, sets 1 back row still. I think I still remember this replay. And on our turn, we got a copy of Eldritch the Golden Boy. So Patchwork is going to be activated, getting a copy of Polymerization. So we got 1 discard to use the effect of Eldritch. He will use the domain. Go use the effect of Red. I think he has another copy of Solemn Judgment here. Really annoying. Regardless, that was a good negate. There we go. Negate that, and we use the effect for to summon Kentrigina to the field. Yeah, Kentrigina to the field. And then Kentrigina will use its effect. Special summoning another monster. I think Rexstorm was it? Yeah, Rexstorm summoned to the field. Now this is basically a face-up skill drain here, so we need to remove it with the help of Eldritch. We'll use its effect, lowering my Guardian Chimera's attack to 8 only. Pops 2 cards on the field, 1 of my back row, and his monster. Summon Kentrigina because of the effect of Rexstorm, normal summoning our Fallen Valbaz to fuse into our 1 copy of Mirror Jade. So this is basically game here. But he has 1 Sonic on the graveyard that he sent earlier. But regardless, we still won. Interesting gameplay with Dinomorphia. So we have game number 2, guys, and our opponent's going first. We got 1 Edgem Chain, 1 Aliber, 1 Medora, 1 Polymerization, and 1 Red. So let's start. We're going up against Swordsoul deck, really interesting, and they are going first, so it's very unfortunate. Regardless, it's fine. Shoot into the field, we'll summon into Monk of the Tenyi, and he's going to do the basic Swordsoul play. Normal summoning Ecclesia, spell summoning Muyi. Muyi will reveal one worm. Another copy of Muyi, alright, so go for that. Then Shisha on the field. Draw one card from Muyi, and then Shisha will search for, I think he's gonna search for Longyan here. There we go. Let's see if I am correct, if I can still remember this gameplay. No, he's gonna search for a copy of Blackout, so he already has a copy of Longyan on hand. So, Longyan to the field, spell summon one token, go for Baron the Floor. Baron the Floor, so this is really a strong board, or basically an average board, but a strong board for the Swordsoul deck. There you go. So one Blackout on the back row, one negate, well, two negates, one Omni negate, and one monster negate. Organization, I'm just prompting the effect of Baron the Floor here, but he doesn't want to do it. Nevertheless, it's fine. Board is going to be activated, or summoned to the field, I mean, and then activate its effect after Edge and Chain. And then he will, he then chain with Baron the Floor here. So I'm free to move Branded. I am free to use Branded in red here. So there we go. Summon into our Guardian Chimera. Since I have only one monster in the field, or one card in the field, his Blackout can't be used. So that's basically it. And since I have a Polymerization in the graveyard, my monster is untargeted. We got a copy of Patchwork. Guardian Chimera will use its effect, and then Mercurial bring forth another branded card. Or branded monster, is it? Branded monster, yeah. Draw two cards and pop his Shisha, then we're free to move. So we use the effect of Albion, sending a copy of Branded Opening, getting a copy of one card. I think draw into Medora here, right? Or was it Maxi? I'm not sure, forgot. So, Patchwork Engine, use and get a copy of Edge and Chain and Polymerization. Normal summon our Aliber, get a copy of Branded Fusion, and then we still use Branded Fusion here since we haven't used it. That's basically game. So game number 3, guys, we have Edge and Chain, one Albion, one Polymerization, and 2 copies of Branded Opening. So that's really sad, but yeah, still works, still works. Terraforming is going to be used by our opponent, and we are going up against Spellbook Runick deck. Really fascinating to have this type of deck in rank anyway. So Judgment is going to be activated, use the effect of Secrets, get a copy of another Spellbook card, Knowledge can be searched. I think he used this to sacrifice Spellbook of Magician. Draw 2 cards. Field Spell is going to be used, and then use another one so that to prompt the effect of Judgment. We'll summon by the use of the spelling. Jerry's on the field. What a bad choice, but regardless, he's going to have that choice anyway. So we have one Runick Fountain on hand. Set one back row, and that's basically it. Get a hold of other Spellbook cards, which he can't even use during his turn. So by far, it's not really a problem. And I think he's going to summon here a Jogan. A Royal Finish Jogan. Fine. Right, so we draw into a Fairy Tale Snow, really good card to start off our combo here. So, sending our copy of Branded in High Spirits to the graveyard, getting a copy of one Polymerization. So, in normal summon Snow, we got negated by Freezing Curses. It's fine. Our opponent draws 2 cards here, I think. Yeah, draws 2 cards. These are Tragedy was banished because of his Runick cards. We get a copy of, I think, Aliber here. Yeah. Oh no, we got a copy of Unlimited because we have Polymerization. Forgot about this. So attack Jogan, then go for Branded Opening. Aliber to the field, and then get a copy of Branded Fusion. Edge and Chain is going to be activated, and our opponent's use, there can be only one. So it's not really a problem here. Since we have Polymerization, and we are Gucci. So Polymerization is going to be activated. There we go. Yeah, we summoned Guardian Chimera, but we still use the effect of Polymerization to pop 2 cards to the field. So since my monster is untargeted for any effects or any card, then we are free to move. Popping that back row and that Runick Fountain, so he can't use his Runick cards on hand if ever he has any. Branded Fusion will be activated, sending a copy of Tragedy and Aliber, or Fallen Valbas to the graveyard. Use the effect of Rebellion, sending a copy of Polymerization, then fuse into a Mirror Jade. Subdora is going to be used here later on, anyways. Oh no, forgot I have snow in the graveyard, so I use snow. Doesn't really matter if I flip it face down or not. It's still going to be banished, anyways. There we go. And then fuse into, I think I fuse into Masquerade here. Is it Masquerade? Masquerade, yeah. That's basically it. 3, 3, 5, 3, 3, 6, 3, 8, 8. And then that's... No, I forgot. It's Guardian Chimera was actually used later on. I'll use by the effect of Branded in Red. Regardless, it's fine. So Branded in Red was activated and fused into another copy of Masquerade. So since we are dealing with what you call this, a Runick and Spellbook deck, so he's gonna activate a ton of spell cards. So Masquerade is our go-to choice here. And Levitum is gonna spell summon Mirror Jade to the field, and that is basically it. So I checked his deck. Why he immediately went into a battle phase. He has a copy of Evenly Matched, so that really fucked him over. So good for us. So here we are, guys, with game number 4, and we have 1 orange, 1 Albion, 1 Patchwork, 1 Opening, and 1 Retribution as our starting hand. Our opponent is still going first. Gonna use the effect of Keldo, and we are going up against a 60 card deck. So basically, our grass looks greener. Isn't really that greener, anyways. So yeah, that's one downside of 60 card deck grass. Our opponent is gonna summon Verte Anaconda here. Use the effect for Branded Fusion, so he's using the same deck that I am using. There we go. Mirror Jade to the field. Sending 1 back row. I'm pretty sure I was thinking this was branded in red, so it wasn't actually. It was called by Ray, was it? So Albion's gonna send a copy of Branded Opening, get a copy of, or draw 1 card. Patchwork is gonna be activated, getting a copy of HM Chain and Polymerization. Use the effect of Branded Opening, so we have 2 Branded Openings in the graveyard here. However, will be pitched in. Branded Fusion is going to be added to the hand, and use the effect of Polymerization just to summon into Guardian Chimera. So our opponent is not using that effect of Mirror Jade. But that's fine. That's perfectly fine. So there we go. Guardian Chimera is going to pop that back row. For some reason, he's still holding on to that 1 copy of, or the effect of Mirror Jade. Well, it's up to him. So we got a copy of Desires. Use the effect of Desires. Banish our 10 cards, and then draw 2. 1 Ash Blossom, 1 Medora. So we have a fuel for our orange light. Use the effect of Branded Fusion. Go for Rebellion. Dropping a copy of Patchwork. Oh no, I go send a copy of Retribution here. So Desperate Tragedy is going to be activated. He will use the effect of Keldo, recycling back my Fallen Valbas, so it was sucky. It was perfectly fine, so I use or chain with the effect of Retribution, get a copy of my opening, so that I can use it later on. So yeah, since I can't do anything else, he returned my Fallen Valbas from the graveyard. All you need to do is go for that one, yeah. Drag Sophia to the field, use the effect of Allure of Darkness, banishing 1. And at this point on, I'm still Gucci. High Spirits, reveal a copy of Medora, then getting a copy of Fallen Valbas. Nothing normal summon yet, so normal summon Fallen Valbas. Dropping 1, he's gonna use the effect of Mirror Jade now. I don't know why he keep on saving it. But we can negate it with the effect of Dragostopelia. So I was hoping, or I was actually scared that he has the effect of Effect Veiler, but regardless, he doesn't have any, so that was game anyways. Alright guys, so last game, and we actually are still going up with a 60 card deck. So 60-60 is our game plan here. So our opponent is still going first. We have Ash Blossom, 1 Keldo, 1 Poly, 1 Branded Opening, and we have High Spirits. You'll use Sarcophagus to banish a copy of Tragedy, and we're going up against a mirror match for a Branded Ishizu deck. Patchwork is going to be activated, getting a copy of Poly and 1 HM Chain. Got already a copy of Aliber anyway, so Albion is going to be He sent a copy of what? Branded Fusion. Right. So I think that's it. Really depends on him. So yeah. He'll normal summon Aliber, getting a copy of another Branded Fusion. For some reason, I don't know why he did that. He should have dropped a copy of Branded Opening. But yeah, that's his gameplay. So Branded Fusion is going to be activated. We chain with our Ash Blossom here. We got Called by the Grave. So a 60 card deck, he actually managed to draw one copy of Called by the Grave. So lucky for him. That was very fun to actually watch. So yeah, there we go. We got negated, and he's free to move with his combo, sending a copy of Tragedy, of course, but it won't prompt because he already used the effect of Tragedy. Use the effect of Rebellion, sending one card to the graveyard, sending Edge and Chain. So another fuel. He should have actually saved that one. Anyway, so yeah, Nerjay to the field. I think he banished here one card. It's just removing a ton of resources from hand. Anyway, so that's it. Albion's gonna get a copy of Branded in red, so we still have Keldo anyway to drop off with the help of Branded Opening. We'll target that one later on. So we got Medora and Keldo on hand. We use the effect of High Spirits, sending one monster there and getting a copy of Fallen Valbas. Normal summon Fallen Valbas. Try to fuse. Our opponent's gonna use Branded in red. He's gonna use it on our Tragedy. He'll use the effect of Medora here, returning his monsters back to his hand. Or I mean his deck, There we go. So, disjointed the target, and we move for a fusion summon into our very own Mirror Jade. I think we use here a copy of Branded Opening here. I think, yeah, we use the effect of Branded Opening. Since we haven't used the effect of Branded Fusion, so that's Gucci. So Aliber is going to be searching our copy of Branded Fusion. Branded Fusion is going to be activated. Spell summoning a copy of Albion. And then Albion is going to be used to summon, what's it called? Masquerade? Was it a Masquerade I summoned here? Yeah, Masquerade. Out of play, go for Masquerade. And we are game. So that is the replays, guys. Hope you enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next video.